If you're still wondering where the best place to move in Detroit, Michigan is, this video is for you.
We're starting a series on the hottest neighborhoods in Detroit, and today we're going to take you around Midtown.
All right, so in today's video, we are in Midtown, and we're going to take you around, show you what it's like to live in Midtown, and give you a full tour of this district of downtown Detroit.
Yeah, we're going to look at some of the hot spots, the restaurants, some of the real estate, the redevelopments that are happening here, and really look at the walkability of the neighborhood so that way you know exactly what it looks like to live in this community.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions, about the downtown districts, Midtown being one of them that always comes up in conversation, and there's a lot of questions that we want to answer on today's video. So if you do have more questions about anything related to downtown or specifically Midtown, just drop those in the comments below. We'd be happy to answer those for you. Hey, if we're meeting here for the first time, my name's Eric.
And I'm Cyrus.
And together we've helped hundreds of people move to Michigan. And if you're thinking about moving here in 1 month or 1 year from now, definitely get a hold of us. We'd be happy to help.
Yeah, we're happy to help local experts here in Metro Detroit and in Southeast Michigan.
All right, so location-wise, we're here on Woodward, which is kind of the main thoroughway, into Midtown. And a lot of the buildings here, from the development perspective, they have been rehabbed, except for, a lot of the buildings like you see behind me, these are all brand new. Like this was never here before. And they have storefronts on the bottom. They also have apartments, up top. But for the most part, when it comes to developments in Midtown, you get a lot of rehab. So taking old buildings and bringing them back, which is super nice because the architecture down here is absolutely amazing. When we're walking around, that's one of the things that we're always admiring. But location-wise, just give frame of reference, like where is Midtown?
Midtown, again, you're going to be pretty much starting where the DIA is, stretching all the way back down to LCA, kind of like that Woodward corridor area, back over to the DMC, the hospital, and then ending over, if you think of where the Lodge Freeway is. That's really that centerpiece of Midtown. But the heart of Midtown is definitely going to be Wayne State University, right there on Woodward, right on Woodward and Warren.
Yeah, so Wayne State then stretches all the way down, and you have the Q line here too. So it's actually passing as we're kind of walking, so you can see the Q line. But a lot of people hop on the Q line if they're going down to like LCA or catching a Lions game or a Tigers game. Parking will be less expensive up Woodward. So if you park up this way, and then you can actually hop on the Q line, get downtown to any of the sporting venues or concerts or anything that you want to do. So a little pro tip for you if you are coming down for the events, avoid all the parking, avoid that mess, and just hop on the Q line.
Yeah, and it's Q line's free right now too. Depending on when you're watching this video. The Q line
could not be free, so don't quote us on that.
All of 2024 Q lines at no cost.
Yeah, so just encouraging people to get down here. But one of the things about Midtown that I'm excited about is the culinary scene. The culinary scene here in Detroit, Detroiters absolutely love their food. So we're gonna check out some of the hot spots here in a second.
Cool, yeah, let's go check them out.
So when you talk about, eating in Detroit, the building right behind us is probably one of the most iconic restaurants, here in Midtown, called the Whitney. I remember when I was growing up, I actually valeted, and somebody from our company would always get assigned to the Whitney, and it was like the most special thing because you go down there and they had all these events all the time, and it bring in a lot of high-end clientele. But they do something pretty unique. It was like in October they do a spooky tour.
Yep, they do a spooky tour, which is pretty epic. Something you can get scheduled pretty much any day of the week, but it's later in the afternoons. Usually you can come by, schedule a spooky tour. But if not on weekends, if you don't want to do spooky tour, you can also do brunch. They have a really, really good brunch menu, and I think one of the best date night spots that we probably have here in Detroit.
Yeah, super cool date night. And then, we're here on Woodward and Canfield. So right behind us, this is Hopcat. So I remember when Hopcat opened up, it was probably 2000, I think we were just talking about this. We don't know the exact date. I think it was 2016, 17. Yeah. We were living in Ann Arbor at the time. And, we had a Hopcat in Ann Arbor, we still do. And then they opened this one, which was like when Midtown was just coming back.
Starting to grow.
It was starting to grow, and a lot of developments were happening. And this place used to be packed, but there's a lot more options in Midtown now. Like Hopcat's super cool. Go there, check it out. Like this is kind of like I'll say the Whitney is the OG, but this was like the new OG, of Midtown. But we're gonna head down Canfield because there's a lot going on down this street right here.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, so when it comes to the real estate here in Midtown, I would say it's predominantly a condo, market here. Would you agree?
Yep, condo, got some multifamily. We do have some single family homes, but a lot of them are more historic properties. Not like your standard, what you'll find in most of Detroit homes built in the 50s, 60s, 70s. A lot of these properties are built in the 20s and before.
Yeah, and when you have a lot of the condo market here in Midtown, we're walking by one right now. So what the buildings typically look like is storefronts on the lower level. So this is actually a yoga studio, down below. And then you can see up above, you're gonna have a loft style. So, super, open concept in there. And it's just one of those, buildings where you're gonna go in, lots of history, and they've done some structural stuff to just really open it up, because a lot of these didn't used to be for housing.
No.
Right? I don't know what they were actually used for.
A lot more industrial.
Yeah, I was gonna say industrial, like clothing stores, and there used to be, just levels and levels of workers that were doing manual labor, on those floors. You can picture, I just picture those big drafting studios where, they're drafting engineering drawings and stuff, but I'm sure that's not what they're doing in there at all, by the way. But yeah, that's really Midtown real estate. When you get into it, lots of cool historic buildings, and then you got more industrial spaces like this one, that we're walking by, as well. So if you are looking for, more of a business opportunity in Midtown, there's a lot of mixed-use space, right? So you have storefronts on the bottom, and then condo living, so it brings people down, and all those owners of those condos are going to pass your business every single day.
Yep, absolutely. There's really cool buildings for sale.
Cyrus has already got the number. He's going to go check it out. We might be buying the building by the end of the day.
That's the plan.
All right, so living downtown, one of the questions that we get a lot is, do they have any parks, any place for dogs to go?
Yeah.
And what do I do? So here's a dog park. Now, this is right in Midtown. It's pretty active today.
Right here at Cass in
Canfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's right in the middle of everything. So on Cass, and we're gonna head over and walk, we got a little mix of everything. You got the Canfield Lofts just ahead of us. You got City Bird, which is a nice restaurant. And then you got Motor City Brew Works.
Yep, right behind there. And then we have Jolly Pumpkin, Bon.
And can't forget about Avalon.
Yep, and then of course we have Third Man Records, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, so this little corridor, this is just one street off of Woodward, on Cass. It has a lot of different shops and restaurants and just things going on. So they've really, like we said on the real estate side, they've really tried to keep a lot of the historic buildings. And this was an old, do you remember what this used to be?
I do not, no.
Okay. This is a big industrial building, but you got Bon, like I said, Jolly Pumpkin, Carhartt, Avalon, and this is just a whole mecca of things going on over here.
Yeah.
And then right across the street, this is the City Bird and Canfield Lofts. And those lofts, have you been in there?
Yeah, we've sold a couple properties in that.
Those are super cool.
Yeah, they're really nice. So yeah, this is, again, one of the more walkable areas as well when you're here, because it's a lot to do. You can get some slice of pizza, you can check out the Carhartt store, go to Third Man Records. So if you were popping into Midtown, this is a great natural first place to stop. All right, now we're here on historic West Canfield, cobblestone roads. These are those properties that we were referring to, 1920s and older. Very nice homes, very large floor plans. We're thinking, 4 to 6 bedrooms, almost 4,000 square feet or more. You get some single family properties. You also get some multifamily properties as well here on this street. Price range, that you'll be looking at for a property here, it's going to be between $700 up to about $1.2 million usually.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite parts about making this type of content is we get to just walk down these streets. I mean, seeing it in the video, hopefully it does it justice, but we've definitely stepped back in time and seeing this history of Detroit. You could be driving down Cass, you could be driving down, any street here in Midtown, and you might miss this.
Yeah,
so just taking the time to really kind of take in the architecture, these buildings, and look at this one right behind us here. I mean, this one's absolutely beautiful. The one right next to it, very Victorian style, and it's just that architecture that you will miss if you don't really appreciate it. So if you are somebody who loves, looking at architecture, stay tuned. We got more on this channel, but if you're also looking for this in the Detroit area, it exists right here in West Canfield as well.
Yeah, come and check it out.
All right, so we're heading south here in Midtown and just passing the community garden. So this is actually nice if you're here in the area and you do want to participate in a community garden. This is available. I know a lot of the restaurants participated and got this thing started. There's it's funded by locals who live here and some of the businesses here as well. And then you do have a seasonal market here. It's called Seasons Market that we're coming up on. They got soups, they got pies, they got soup bowls in there as well. So we'll head in and check it out and let you know how it is. All right, so we just left Seasons Market. Super cool in there. I mean, good vibe. Lots of fresh produce, lots of meats. So even if you're down here, there's a Whole Foods, up by Wayne State's campus, but you got fresh produce over there. They have a coffee bar in there. They had a loft upstairs, which I thought was super cool. And it's just a good spot if you're at, Wayne State University or maybe the business school. You can head over there. A lot of people study, and then a lot of people from the DMC, head over, grab a coffee just on the break, taking a walk. But right around here, we got a lot of different hot spots. We want to show you around.
Yeah, absolutely. And right here, I believe some of the best restaurants you're going to find is over here at Matt Nice, which is actually over here up on my left shoulder. Really cool restaurant. Right down here in front of us, we have Selden Standard, which people will say is absolutely one of the best restaurants in Detroit. Honest John's, which is right up the street. Great restaurant to catch some breakfast, come before a game. And then right next door, again, my favorite restaurant, which is She-Wolf, Italian restaurant, which is right next door. So in this vicinity, this short area here, you have a good 6, 7, 8 good restaurants that you can come to if you are in that 2nd Street, Canfield area that you can come and check out.
Yeah, and I was down here probably when Selden Standard opened, and been back many times, but this has changed so much.
Yeah,
I mean, the amount of rehabilitation that's come in this little corner right here. I mean, Mad Nice, that used to be nothing.
Yeah, it was a blank warehouse.
Yeah, it was just a blank warehouse. Like you still see some warehouse like across the street. That's an old apartment building, that hasn't been renovated yet, but I'm sure they will get to it soon. It's just a matter of time before developers keep doing that. But a lot of good restaurants right here in Midtown, and all the ones that Cyrus said, you gotta go check out.
Gotta check them out.
All right, so we've shown you around to some of the hot spots here, and I want to talk a little bit about walkability because Midtown is right in the center, of the city. You got walkability to LCA. If you're tired of walking, you can take the Q line, but it's not that far of a walk. You can go down. You can even get to the Riverwalk too, as well.
Oh yeah, from here, not that far down to the Riverwalk. You can take Woodward down. You can take Cass down. It's actually also a great area for biking. A lot of people ride their bikes in, around, and through Midtown, either getting back north, headed up to New Center, or going back downtown as well. So also a great place to ride your bike. Yeah,
so just being active in the city is one thing. So if you are, thinking about moving to Midtown, the activities around, the hot spots, there's more coming. It seems like, every couple of months, there's a new something happening, as you see some of the buildings, be purchased, and something's going on in there, right? New windows are being put in, and it's always like, hey, what's coming next, which is kind of a fun game to play in the city, figuring it out. But, if you are thinking about living, here in Midtown, we talked a little bit about the condo market and what you get, because Midtown is primarily a condo market, right? It's a condo market. There are single family homes. We've done one of the most beautiful streets in Midtown, in my opinion. But a lot of those are multifamily. Yeah, the West Canfield. A lot of those are multifamily as well. So in terms of like price point, what's the actual price point of condos and homes in Midtown?
So it's going to range, right? You'll have your 1-bedroom condos, your 2-bedroom condos. But if you're thinking 1-bedroom condo, 1 bath, you're going to be in that $350,000 to $400,000 range for a 1-bed, 1-bath condo. If you anything larger than that, you're going to be $425,000 up to $500,000, and it really just depends on how new the property was built. Because you can have some condos that were just built within the last 4 years, which would be a lot higher, up to the $700,000 range, depending, right? In a more luxury-ish space, right? It may not be full luxury because, you know, it's more of a industrial style loft condo, but price points is definitely up to $700,000 for more of a 2-bedroom, fully renovated new condo that was built in the last 10 years.
Yeah. And speaking of the luxury market, you know, how many condos, townhomes, like and we looked at some of the ones that were on West Canfield, you know, those are kind of approaching $1 million, but those are multifamily. Are there a lot of $1 million properties in Midtown?
Not for condos, no. I think the ceiling is really that, I've seen some people try 800, but really that 750 is really when you hit the ceiling in Midtown for condos. Everything else is going to be in that $400,000 to $550,000 range that you get for condo. I think the biggest thing to understand in the condo market in Detroit, and I believe you've made a couple videos about it, is going to be the HOAs and then also the taxes. So no matter where you're looking here in Midtown or even Detroit in general, you want to understand the NEZ, but you also want to understand the HOA for that building, because HOA could range from $300 all the way up to $800 depending on the condo complex.
Yeah, and some of those can have well worth the $800. You know, whether it's a gym inside, maybe a pool. You know,
and it will include everything. A lot of times, it will include the taxes. I've seen in some cases it include. I've even seen some that offer car wash,
water, trash, car washes. You get a monthly subscription to Slows Barbecue that you can eat, but just really pay special attention to, you know, what those condo fees are. And Cyrus is making a great point. Like, you know, the cost can seem attractive, you know, to move a little bit away from maybe Brush Park or downtown. It gets a little bit cheaper, and that's true, you know, but obviously pay special attention to those condo fees and taxes. And, you know, like you mentioned NEZ, that's one of those things that you look at the NEZ map and you can basically find all of the hotspots of Detroit. And that's for a reason, right? They're allowing people to come in and invest money in there, which has been really beneficial. So yeah, if you have any questions about the housing market, condos, single family homes here in Midtown or Detroit or Metro Detroit for that matter, you know, definitely reach out to us. Cyrus is a wealth of information. You know, I got your back as well. I'll be happy to help. So if you guys are thinking about making that move here to Detroit, you guys know what to do. All the contact information is down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap that little bell so you're the first to learn about all things happening here in Michigan. And Cyrus and I, we will see you on the next one.